and Divaldo.
And we're
We're
live,
back
I think.
again.
I think we are
This is
back
it.
and we are live.
Oh man,
So you got on
another
the green polo there. I see just the, you know.
mate. You know, I got when I'm recording these
Slick.
shows, man,
Yeah.
I got to roll. I got to kind of be
Yeah.
slick a bit, and like then the dollars that we're getting paid for all this
Yeah,
adverts that we're
see?
doing. Which reminds me, by the way,
Oh,
no, I won't be doing any show. Um,
okay.
they want to send us some samples.
Okay.
So we've got a
Got
new
clothes
product place.
samples. We've got some
No,
clothes.
it's
Oh,
deodorant. It's
oh,
deodorant.
I need it as well. That's why you went to Australia, innit? We were
Oh,
recording here,
shit.
and you thought, "Nah, that guy smelled. I'm going across the world. I'm getting out of here."
Across the whole world getting out of it. No, but apparently, yeah, we need to figure out where they're going to send the shipment of deodorant that they want to send us
Oh, what, are you
because
serious? Actually
I'm being
serious?
serious. I'm
Oh,
being serious. Yeah, I'm being serious. We got
okay. Oh my
we got
gosh.
some samples that we need to try out.
Is it?
So
Okay.
yeah, so folks, Flixters' new product coming out, which we want to speak about, and we'll let you know about it, and we'll kind of
Yeah.
promote it on the show. But
Nice
listen,
one.
look,
Just in time for horror, because when the horror films happen, people can sweat,
yeah,
Scary.
sweating, there's
Scary.
patches, and they leave patches on the
Mm-hmm.
seat and everything like that, and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and talking about scary,
Mm.
folks, if you want to listen to our podcast from last week, you can check out our review of The Exorcist Believer. Go check it
Scary
out.
shit, man.
People have been asking me, they were like, so listen, they were like, Amar, right, you're the film guy. What shall we go out and watch Exorcist Believer? And I was like, listen to the show.
Mm.
Listen to the show. Um, you know, it is
Listen
what
to
it
it.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be a believer and listen to the show. All right, listen, look, what are we? What episode number is this?
260. We're getting nifty. Is that right?
Getting nifty. 60
Mm.
nifty. It's got the TY at the end.
Shifty. I said it's shifty.
Shifty.
Yeah. We are
Yeah,
getting shifty, innit?
shifty.
Shifty eyes.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
listen, folks. So, listen, we're on 260 at the moment. We've got a great show for you. We're going to be doing a Spanish speaking movie, Spanish language
See.
movie.
See.
So, subtitles, you got to get them subtitles out. Oh, actually, if it's because it's on Netflix, Deval, you don't actually need the subtitles anymore.
Yeah, they've got the English dubbed voices now, and I've noticed those English dubbed voices. I think it's the same people that do the rounds. It's the same people from
Right, we
Money
want to use you
Heist.
for this
It's
one,
the
for this
same
one, for this
Money
one.
Heist. It's all the same, all them same shows. It's the same people, I reckon.
Exactly. Getting paid nice money for doing those shows. So stick around for that one. We've also obviously got the usual, the shows that you should be watching, the trailers that you should be checking out. We've got a hidden gem for you. So stick around for all of that stuff. But before we do any of that, Devaldo, what we
Yep.
got?
Yeah, quick couple of shout outs. First shout out goes to Sandra Aldoca. Yep. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she just literally, she's a relatively new Flixter, but she is a big Flixter. She loves
Oh,
movies of
man.
all kinds, of TV shows, a Shoka. She actually mentioned a little while ago she saw Fried Barry. It was a hidden gem that we spoke about a few weeks ago about an alien,
Yeah.
like an alien occupation of
And this is in
of
South Africa.
humans. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a different kind of type of alien occupation. It's on Shudder, which is like a horror channel, which is worth
Yeah.
checking out if you can.
I have. Yeah.
But yeah, she had a massive obsession with aliens, like fire in the sky, and all that kind of shit from back in the 90s.
Fire in the
X-Files, all that kind of
sky.
stuff. So yeah, she's into her shit,
Yeah, that's
So yeah,
wicked.
big shout out to Sandra, and then last shout out goes to Ciel Noir 3. Talk about
Oh,
it all the time. Go and check out her page. Like we say, go to that page, you're feeling one way, and you leave that page, you're feeling better. Yeah.
another way. Exactly.
Exactly. So yeah, her page is she's all about holistic positivity,
Which we
fitness,
need, man.
yeah, just fun and just being your true self and positivity. So go check out her page, Ciel Noir
Defo.
3 on Instagram.
All right,
There's a
but there
shout
you have it.
outs.
That is the shout outs. All right, let's get into movie news. So Bioshock, Deval, this is a game, right?
Yeah, this is a game. Yeah, so this is the game that's available on PlayStation and Xbox,
Yeah.
and I think PC as well.
Yeah, hasn't. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm just thinking now. Where are we with the whole kind of game adaptations, movies, TV shows? Because we've had some, obviously, Last of Us, which is the last thing that I can remember, which is decent. We know
yeah.
that there was
Gran Turismo came out recently.
Gran Turismo. You said
Twisted
that.
Metal with Falcon.
Yes,
Yeah,
there was.
movies.
What's the? I keep forgetting the Raccoon City one. What's that one again?
Resident Evil. There are 10 of those
Resident
films.
Evil.
Yeah, we had one
And there
that
was a
came out
TV
last
series
year.
on that
Yep,
one.
yep,
So yeah, so listen, so look, I mean, I guess kind of full steam ahead, right? Because it's
mate.
worth a lot of money.
I don't think people realize fully the gaming industry is worth more than the movie industry and the music industry combined. It's a
It's mad.
multi-billion dollar pound industry annually. Gaming is massive. So
Huge.
when it transcends its own industry to go into the movies, look how
Mm,
much money they're making. So BioShock is a computer game
yeah.
that is about a dystopian world where some kind of biological hazard has, I guess, spilled out, and shit's gone wrong in the world, and it's kind of set in I want to say the 1940s or 50s. So
Mm,
the landscape is a bit like, it kind of reminds me of the back in the day when I had those nuclear explosion tests,
yes.
and
Yeah.
they set off bombs in the desert, and they
Yeah.
had those fake towns where they can set off the bombs and then see how the
Yeah.
town
Like
kind of
in
reacts.
Hulk. Do you remember in Hulk?
Yes, exactly. 2003's Hulk. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the kind of the sort of backdrop looks like that. But yeah, this is going to be a Netflix. Is it going to be a show or film? Let me see. Yeah, I believe it's a movie. It's going
Mm,
to be on Netflix, and they've been talking about it for a little while now. But it seems like it's really going ahead now, and we're going to get this on Netflix. And it seems like every platform is going to have some sort of game to movie or game to
mm.
series adaptation, because
They got
you've
'em.
got a natural audience that comes across. So yeah.
Yeah, man. And listen, there's just so many games out there that they could adapt, and it all
Mm,
depends on obviously money, like deep pockets, who's going to pay for it, and everything like that. But I
mm,
reckon, did I tell you? I think I watched the first kind of like 2 or 3 episodes of Halo, and
mm.
I just kind of because that was on Paramount. I think that's on Paramount
Paramount
Plus, isn't it?
Plus. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the first kind of, and I don't know if they've ever done a second season on that.
Not yet. I believe it's happening. I'm the
Okay,
same as you. I saw the first two episodes, and it
yeah,
didn't hook me
it
in that
didn't
much. I never played the
exactly.
game, so I didn't have that
Yeah.
affiliation with it. But
Mm.
I heard some people liked it.
Yeah, used to play the game and on the Xbox and everything like that, and I thought, okay, let me give
Mm,
this a go and everything. But I mean, again, maybe something that we've got to revisit again. So go check that one out, folks. If you're a gamer and
mm,
you love your TV shows, maybe check that one out. All right, let's speak about Cloverfield. We've actually mentioned Cloverfield quite a few times on the show.
yeah.
It's either popped up like in reference to another movie. We've spoken about it on Hidden Gems. We've spoken about it on
Mm,
Anniversary Corner.
yeah.
And we've also spoken about the director. So, Deval, what's going on with this? Are we going to get a sequel? Because, man, it feels like as if this movie's been out since forever.
Yeah, the first one came out in 2008, so that is actually a trigger for the anniversary corner. 15 years ago, the first one came
Mm.
out, found footage in New York,
Yeah.
some sort of creature that, Godzilla-ish kind of creature. So the news is that Dan Trachtenberg, who actually
Mhm.
directed, I believe he directed Prey, didn't he? He directed Prey,
Oh,
the new
yes. The most
Predator.
recent one.
Yeah, so he directed that, and also directed 10 Cloverfield Lane, which I think is probably one of the best
Yeah.
versions of Cloverfield. So
Mm.
there's an understanding that he is set to direct a sequel, which is going to be a direct sequel to the first one. Because there's three
Right.
films.
Gotcha.
There's Cloverfield, there's 10 Cloverfield Lane, and then
And
there's a
then the
Cloverfield
Cloverfield
Paradox that came
Paradox.
out a few years later. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this one's going to be a direct sequel to the first one. I'm not sure, as in, other than the fact that I know there's going to be some big monster involved, I'm not sure
Mm.
exactly what's going to happen in this one and who's going to
Yeah.
be in it. But yeah, there's also talk of another. Like there's going to be a couple of Cloverfield films coming out, or
Damn.
shows. So yeah, it's going to grow. It's going to grow.
Yeah, and yeah, it's good and be good to kind of see exactly where this all kind of expands. This is
Mm.
J.J. Abrams, isn't it? This is like
Yeah, he
his from his
produced.
mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm.
I mean, that guy's been behind some good stuff like Star
Yeah.
Trek and Star Wars and things like
Mm.
that. So we'll see how this one pans out, folks. Now, this is one
Hmm.
from this is one from the past, man. Chuck Norris. But okay, fine. Chuck Norris, he was a movie star, TV star, whatever. But Vanilla Ice, Devout, tell me about this combination, man. Chuck Norris and Vanilla Ice. How does this even feature on movie news?
Man, this is just it's comedy. It's basically a action comedy. Snakes on a Plane.
Yes.
The title alone tells you what the
Mm,
film is going to be about. Don't come
mm,
for anything serious. You're getting snakes on a plane. Watch it and go home. This is
yep.
similar. This is Zombie Plane.
Oh
So we know
gosh.
exactly what it's about. We talked a few years ago that films that have zombies somehow get green lit more than anything else. And this is going to be zombies on a plane, Vanilla Ice, Chuck Norris. That's it. That's all you need to know.
It's like,
Yeah.
what a combo. Oh my gosh. Of
Mate.
all the people that you could think of putting on a plane together, Chuck Norris and Vanilla Ice. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about like when this is going to hit our screens or where we can get this?
At some point next year, from what I understand, 2024. This is going to be definitely like B movie kind of, quality and budget. Kind of, I
Mm,
think this is going to be kind of the same sort of tone as Sharknado and them kind of
right.
films. You know what I
I
mean? So
gotcha.
don't
Yeah. And
expect too much.
those movies have gone on like there's like about 5 or 6 in the
Yeah,
franchise there.
they've got
So
a
who
cult
knows?
following. Yeah, people expect low quality, but it's like a a guilty pleasure, isn't it? I mean,
Oh man,
Sharknado. What kind of
100%.
madness is that? That's mad.
100%. 100%. All right, let's move on to new on streaming, Devout. And listen, if you want to talk about cult following, let's speak about the Boys universe.
Mm.
So we've had the Boys, which that's been on for 3 seasons. And if you have not heard of the Boys, just stop what you're doing right now,
Hmm.
pause this podcast, go back and watch the Boys on Amazon Prime. This isn't a plug-in for Amazon Prime, by the way. And now 2023, we've got a spin-off called Gen V, which is in the same universe. It takes place at the same. It's in the same timeline
Yeah,
as kind of the Boys
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going on. But Deval, man, this show, honestly, is just fucking brilliant. Like, honestly, it's really great. The
Mm.
characters, the rabbit hole that you go down, the
Hmm.
powers that these soups have got, the shit that's going on. Um,
The
so
willies that are exposed. Is this mad?
the willy's exposed, the willy's getting
It's
blown
mad.
off. The fucking like, honestly, it's just like when I think about the boys, like the boys in Gen V, it just makes me swear and like makes me become
It's
so like
it's
rowdy and all
nothing.
that
It's like
shit.
nothing I've ever seen. I think when you think of Marvel, even DC, and that's
Oh
always like a 12A, like it's something that all the family can watch. This
yeah,
is not for the family. It
it's like
is just crazy.
I
It's
know. It's like
blood,
it's like
guts.
imagine like, hey honey, let's watch the new Disney program, and then like this one, oh my gosh, this is like rated R. At the
Yeah,
beginning of the thing, it says like scenes of explicit violence,
yeah,
sexual, like
yeah. You just
whatever.
know. It always
But
goes deep,
Deval,
and it's actually been green lit for season 2 now. It's official.
man.
Season two's
Oh,
happening.
but there you go.
Mm.
So listen, Deval, I mean, how would you sum up the last kind of six? Is it 6 episodes we've seen? I think is it six
Yes, I
episodes?
think it's 6 episodes. Yeah, I mean, so
How
far
would you
it's
sum it all up?
yeah, it's been a good sort of fresh look at the sort of boys universe. Like you mentioned, Gen V is university students, so they're younger, they're more reckless, they're actually finding out about their powers a bit more because the boys they're fully established, whereas these people are trying to come up and they're trying to compete with each other because it's like a rankings as to how
Yeah.
popular you are, and all these things are going on, as well as their sexualities and where they want to fit in, and
Mm,
their gender identity, and all kinds of stuff. It's worse, and I think the way they've looked at the characters and how they've developed, it's been quite good. You've got different characters from different walks of life. They're all quite powerful, and they're all put in the same place where they need to try and thrive or survive. And there's always that overarching nemesis that you're not really sure if and who they are. But
yeah.
bit by bit, they're being exposed, and the sort of the youngsters are now trying to band together, and it's almost like Lord of the Rings almost, where they're
It
getting
is.
together on the journey to try and
Yeah.
get to this sort of big bad at the end. And so far, I'm really liking it. I didn't realize
Mm.
that. I didn't think I like it so much, but it's really good. It's really, really good.
Do you know what? So why does like Dean Shetty, right? She, one of the characters in the show. Do you think she's a soup?
No, because I think a lot of the times, the most powerful person has no powers. Like in The Boys,
It
what's his
was
name? Butch.
Lost,
Butch is a big, powerful person, character in it.
yeah.
Obviously, he's got
Mm,
later on he gets some powers, but
mm.
all throughout he never had powers, but he was very
No,
influential. So
yeah.
I don't think she's got powers, but you never know.
Yeah, but
You
she's
never
on this
know.
whole she's on a warpath, man. She's like,
Mm.
her character, is she trying to get rid of the soups or, what is she trying to do? But did you see the snippet, the trailer for episode 7?
No, I always avoid it. I don't want to see it until it
Okay. All right.
happens. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well,
Mm.
we'll speak about that when that comes out. But listen, look, folks, if you haven't seen any of this stuff, seriously,
Watch it.
use that Amazon Prime
Mm.
subscription. Watch Gen V on Amazon Prime. Do
Mm.
that. Now let's move on. This one now. Devout. I haven't heard of this one. This is called Bargain. Tell me about this one.
Bargain. I'm hoping to start watching today. I wanted to watch it, so I can talk about it today, but I didn't get a chance.
Yeah.
Bargain is I think it's Japanese, but it's a show on Paramount Plus. It's mad. It reminds me of Snowpiercer, but it's not Snowpiercer. Basically,
Oh.
there's people that they sell. I think they sell organs. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
yeah,
I heard
it's like
about
a
this.
like a
Yes.
they sell organs or something, and they're
Mm.
about to have an auction for someone's organs. The person's there. They've marked out where the organs are going to be and all that. They're in a room. All these people are auctioning for their organs, and at that moment, an earthquake happens, and the room just collapses, and the whole building goes into a craziness.
Yeah.
And that person that had his all organs marked, people still they still want him. So he's running around this building where people want a piece of him.
Or after his body.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the raid. It's like Snowpiercer. It just looks
Wicked.
mad. It's 30-minute episodes. I think there's about 6 episodes, but it's on
Okay.
Paramount Plus, and it looks mad. It's worth a watch.
Yeah, yeah, it sounds really, really good.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember now reading something about it, and that was kind of one of the things that came out.
Yeah,
All right, again on Paramount Plus, and again, this isn't a plug for Paramount Plus, but although you should check it out. The Burning Girls. Now
mm.
we spoke about this, didn't we? Before we saw the
We
trailer
spoke
or
about
something
it.
of something
Yeah, we saw the
creepy
trailer.
English like town
Oh,
somewhere in the sticks. Something weird is going on with the folks, like
oh.
Wicker Man-esque kill list
They're the
type of
places black
thing.
people don't go to. If I
You
if I have
see,
to drive through them places, I'm driving
people of
around.
color of being in there, man.
I'm
Why would you
driving
go there?
around. But the way you described it is exactly it, and it seems like just a weird, ghoulish, supernatural shit is going on. It's got
Yeah.
the lady that's in The Walking Dead who played Alpha, who played
Okay.
the bald-headed lady. She's really good. But
Mm.
now it's available on Paramount Plus. It's there. All the episodes are there. I think they're like an
Okay.
hour-long episodes. I think there's about 4 episodes, I think, or maybe more. But that's another one I need to try and watch as well. But yeah, if you got Paramount Plus, give it a watch.
Give it a watch.
Yeah,
Now, next one, man, 100%. This is on my watch list because I've been reading about the show. We spoke about Stephen Graham last week, didn't we? He's a great
gangster.
actor.
Boiling point.
So many things, man. He's been in so many great things. So this show is called Bodies, and what I love the whole premise about this. It taking place in different timelines in London, right? So there's a murder that happens in, I don't know, say for example, the 1800s. There's one that happens, present day, and then one in the future, and all this stuff going on. But Devar, tell me, have you seen this?
Yes, this is the
Oh
one I
man,
started watching and I
yeah.
couldn't put it down.
Okay,
I
I'm
had
watching this.
to. I had to finish. I haven't finished it yet. Actually, I've got.
Mm,
I think I've got one more episode, or maybe two.
yeah.
But what you said, spot on. So this show is basically, without giving away too much, there's a murder that happens in 4 different timelines. So that,
Okay.
just like you mentioned, the 1800s. Next one happens in 1941. The other
Yeah.
one happens in 2023, and then the
Yeah.
other one happens in 2053. So 30
Okay.
years in the future. And it's the
Right.
same body, the same person that dies, same position, same circumstances. Everything's identical with how this person dies, but it
I
happens
gotta watch it.
in London, in Whitechapel, so like East London,
Yeah.
similar to where Jack the Ripper was, in that sort of area.
Ah,
And it's weird. And then you got these 4 different timelines happening simultaneously, and each
yeah.
person in the timeline is a police officer. They're trying to investigate it bit by bit, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
getting deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm
I
not going to
love
say any
it.
more, but it's worth a watch. It's on
Does it
Netflix.
does it does it remind you of Seven a little bit as well?
No, actually, it doesn't.
Oh,
I don't know. It doesn't because it's just different. I don't know. It's not. I see where you're going with Seven, but it hasn't got the sort of tone as Seven and stuff like
okay.
that. It's just different, but it's interesting. And the more you
Yeah, I'm
watch it, the
watching it.
more the more you want to find out how is this happening. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
mad. It's
yeah.
mad.
Yeah, that's definitely on the
Mm.
watch list on that one. So go check those out. And if you do watch any of them, listeners, let us know. Let us know which ones that you liking, which
Yeah.
ones that you're not liking. You know, which shows that you want us, and obviously recommend a show to us. Maybe we
Mm.
haven't spoken about it, and it's your favorite show. Let us know, speak about it, get in touch with us, and we will talk about it on the show. All right, let's speak about trailers. Now, this one, Devout American Fiction, now you put a bunch of trailers on there, right? And
Yeah.
this is the one that kind of really kind of I was really got into, really was really interesting, kind of like this comedy starring
Jeffrey
Commissioner Gordon.
Morgan. What's his name? Jeffrey Wright. Sorry, Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Wright, yeah,
Mm.
who we saw recently in Batman,
Hmm.
and I mean, obviously, when you see the trailer and everything, it says kind of Wright's kind of best performance to date and everything like that,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
it looks really, really interesting about this writer who he's not making it as writing the books that he wants to write,
Mm.
and then he slowly, slowly starts writing like as if he's like a gangster, basically,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then his books take off, and
Hmm.
then he starts to kind of he has to start becoming the persona of this kind of gangster and living
Hmm.
this life, and he gets
Yeah.
into all sorts of trouble and everything like that. It looks funny, it looks great. I'm really looking forward to watching this, man.
Yeah. It's like all the stereotypes of sort of black people and how I think
Yeah.
black people are perceived as in like a certain character or caricature
Mm,
of the persona, and like, you're weird that even when he speaks, he has to speak in that. Otherwise, people they're not really
believe
like
him.
accepting him. Yeah, and it's just it's a weird. It seems like a funny show. It seems like a real sort of commentary on life and
Mm,
how things are, and just how you often hear about like cultural appropriation and stuff like that,
yes,
and just how people perceive you to be. And if you don't fit that, it's almost like you don't make sense. Like you can't
it's
be
like what?
a black
How
person and
come?
be like, I don't know, well spoken and this and that because
Yeah,
they expect you to have a certain tones. But you know what I
absolutely.
mean? So certain people of all types, really, this can work opposite way as well.
Yeah.
All types fit into a stereotype, you know, and yeah, it's just a bit weird. It's a weird film. It looks good. I'm going to watch it when it comes out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I want to kind of see this, how it all goes on, and
Hmm.
it's got kind of like a few people that Issa Rae's in it, Sterling K.
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah, yeah,
There's a few other
yeah.
people, and yeah, I mean, it looks decent to me, so I'll give that one a go.
Mm.
It's called
Yeah.
American Fiction. Now, next one, if you're looking for a bit of action, if you're looking for a bit of Jason Statham doing Jason Statham, he's kind of like the go-to guy now, isn't it, Deval?
Man, this guy.
You know,
He never catches a bullet. Let him catch a bullet now and again. You know what I mean?
and he always does that same thing. You know, he's wearing a cap. He's got that gruff voice. He's like, "I'm going to give
Oh,
you 3 seconds," and I don't quite get his accent. Is it British? Is it American? He hasn't pulled off the accent just quite yet. And but he goes in and he's tearing
Liam
shit
Neeson,
up.
isn't it? Liam Neeson's American accent. It's like, and also
Exactly.
Gerard Butler. There's a hint of everything in it.
Exactly. So he's playing this. He plays a beekeeper, minding his own business, and his neighbor. Something happens to his neighbor, and then he's got
She's
to
from
go in and
Cosby
clean
Show,
shit
isn't it?
up.
She's from the Cosby
Yeah,
Show.
she's from Cosby Show. Oh my gosh! And I wonder how much she knew
What do you mean?
about Cosby, about Bill Cosby.
That's a whole another podcast, I think. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that is right. Because I mean,
yeah,
when you work with someone all those years, man, come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
there's got to be something. So yeah, so he goes in, he kicks ass, and
Mm,
then there's Jeremy Irons. He's the boss, the evil British boss, and everything like that, and the scamming money, and there's a whole fight. Everything, man. This movie's got it
mm.
all.
It's like John Wick almost, isn't it? Just yeah, it's mad. It's mad, mad, mad. It's
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned John Wick because the next movie is
Mm,
is made by the producers of John Wick. But here's the thing: the twist on this one is they've roped in legendary film director John Woo
yeah.
and his You know what, Devout? I never saw pigeons in this.
Not yet. Not yet.
If they
I'm
are, they're not
guaranteed
in
there's
the
a
trailer.
pigeon. Trust me.
Exactly.
Probably pigeon noise.
We haven't
There's gonna
seen
be
the pigeons.
pigeons.
But this is produced by John Wick.
Doves.
Yeah, so produced by John Wick people, directed by Hong Kong legend John Woo, and this guy obviously built his career on doing actions,
Mhm.
movies and everything in Hong
Yeah.
Kong, great movies, and yeah, and this is Joel Kinnaman. So
Mm.
he's mute, right? So he can't, or is he deaf? I can't even. I don't know which one.
Oh, is
What is he?
he?
Is it mute or
I
deaf?
didn't get that. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, no, I think he's lost his
Oh.
voice. He can't speak.
No, because after the tragedy of his family, maybe he won't speak until
He won't
he's
speak
killed them
until
all. I
yeah.
won't speak until I've got my revenge. That's usually
So
what happens, isn't it?
it's basically that's what it is. So it's revenge, and
Mm.
you kind of get the idea, right? So this is John Wick, producer of John Wick. So
Oh yeah,
they want,
his voice got injured. Yeah, I think okay, I can see it. Yes,
yeah. Remember, there's that
in
scene
the
where he starts
trailer.
screaming and they go,
Yes,
"Roar!" Like, he's doing that thing.
it's like Sisu, isn't it? He might be Sisu's nephew. They should get together.
Trust me, man. John Wick, Sisu, and this guy get them together, man.
Yeah.
Havoc.
Have you noticed it's the same formula? Someone comes up, messes with your family, but at least this time, do you know what? I get this guy. They mess with his wife and child.
Oh,
John Wick is just
this
his
is
dog, man.
Punisher.
Yeah, it's Punisher exactly, and he just goes out for them like. And he's a big guy. This guy's like 6 foot
He's
6 or 6 foot 5.
tall.
He's a big guy, and he looks like he can deal with someone.
Yeah.
So
So here's
yeah,
the thing, Janelle. What I'm looking for in this movie is we know what the plot is, right? It's revenge. We know it. The trailer lays that out, pure and simple. What I'm looking for is when I go watch this movie is
mm,
how interesting are the action scenes going to be? How interesting are the deaths going to be? Like, don't forget, we've seen like 4 John Wick movies. We've seen kind of The Punisher, like, the
mm,
TV show The Punisher. So we know how these movies can go, right? So bring us something different. Bring us something new.
mm, mm.
You know,
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying is just like, give us something new, and man, we will watch the movie. So yeah, we'll see how this one turns out. So that one's called Silent Night. Do we know? Is that going to be cinema job or is it streaming?
That's a cinema job. Yeah, it's coming out.
Okay.
When's it out? Doesn't say. Can't. Oh yeah, December the 1st. Great day.
Okay, so Christmas
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. All right, brilliant. And the next one, I just want to quickly mention this one. So we've had Silent Night, and now we've got this other one called Night Swim. So
Mm.
this is from the makers of The Nun and the Conjuring universe. So this is produced by James Wan, and
Mm.
this is from Blumhouse. So
Say no
you know
more.
which territory we're going to get in. It's called Night Swim. So literally, the family moves into a new house. They've
Mm.
got a massive swimming pool. We don't know the swimming pool's obviously empty. Look at the So there's a scene, and it hinges on this kind of obviously the swimming pool where there's a boy and a girl. They're in the swimming pool. They're playing this game Marco Polo. So she's got her eyes closed. She's saying Marco, and then he says Polo, and then she's got to get closer to him. And do you remember that scene from The Conjuring where they do the clap?
Yeah.
Right. So they do
Oh
the clap,
my
they're
gosh.
blindfolded, and then they get closer and closer. So she's going, Marco, and he's getting Polo. Then all of a sudden, she's like, Marco. And there's no answer, Marco. And then all of a sudden, you hear Polo.
Hello.
Wow. Jesus. Oh my gosh.
I
Mate,
knew it. I
mate,
knew it.
we're never gonna go into a swimming pool again. Like seriously, we're not going into a swimming pool again. So it's gonna be, imagine that. It's like The Conjuring, The Nun, like all
Oh
the universe, but
gosh.
it takes place in a swimming pool. So imagine what could go wrong, mate, on a night swim.
So the whole film's going to be around the pool, yeah? Come on. The whole film.
Seriously, it's called night swim, so shit is going down at night in the
Oh
swimming
my
pool.
gosh.
So if that tickles your fancy, go check that one out.
Hmm.
And remember, again, if there's a trailer out there that you want us to have a look at, let
Yeah,
us
let
know.
us know.
So that let us know, because it's like honestly, mate, you just look down the side of YouTube, There's hundreds and hundreds of
Yeah.
trailers out there. All right, let's do anniversary corner now. Deval has picked a great one out for us. This is from 10 years ago, Oscar-winning Sandra Bullock. Now, I wonder, Deval, just remind me, did she win an Oscar, or did the movie win the Oscar?
Oh, I think it was the film. I think
The
the film
film.
itself won it. I think special effects or something like that. I think.
Mm, yeah.
Mm,
So this is kind of space-based, lost in space kind of,
mm,
or wherever, we don't know if you haven't seen the movie. So this is Gravity from 10 years ago, and well, I just want to find out, Deval, while you set it all up, this has got
mm.
7.7 on IMDb.
Yeah, yeah,
7.7.
yeah. It's a
uh
good rating.
Alfonso Cuarón, yeah.
Good. George Clooney, Sandra Bullock, Ed Harris. Ed Harris
Mm,
doesn't he always go to space? That guy, man, he's always going to space
man,
and
I
wearing
know.
spacesuits and all that. But yeah, this is a film of. I think they were doing a sort of I guess regular sort of maintenance checks and repairs to
Mm,
the space station as you do. You go up there now and again, screw a
yep.
few bolts and whatever, keep it clean, put in some WD-40, make sure everything's going to clockwork.
Mm,
And while they were doing the repairs, there was some sort of movement of some debris in space where something was moving around. Because in space, you know what? People don't realize, but we're moving, nothing is still. We are moving. The Earth is moving, it's spinning.
yeah,
The Earth itself is not just spinning, but it's moving around the sun. The sun
yeah.
and the solar system are moving around the galaxy. The galaxy, everything's moving. So suddenly once you're up there, and
Yeah.
if you're able to be still, I guess, and you can see these things moving, it's mad. But yeah, all this debris hit the
Mm,
spaceships and all that, and it caused Sandra Bullock to just flip out of her sort of safety harness, and
yeah.
her body goes into space. She's lost, and she's
Right.
trying to get back with her her space sort of structure. And
Mm,
it's the film is about her trying to survive while she's on a by herself because everyone else is sort of dead. And yeah, it's a real film about survival, being
mm.
in the elements that are. When you think of treacherous elements, you can't think of anything else worse than being in space. A
Man,
little hole in your spacesuit could be the end of you.
that's it. This is
Mm.
why, man. It was made entirely in Great Britain.
Yes.
And the budget 100 to 130 million budget, and it
Mm.
took over 700 mil at the
Oh God.
global box office, mate, that's
Yeah.
incredible. That's mad,
Yeah.
isn't it? It won
Yeah.
7 Oscars.
Yeah. It came out in 3D at the time as well, and it was quite a revolutionary
Mm,
film. The way it was shot, the way it made you feel like you were in space.
yep.
The premise was quite different to many space films because many space films you're with other people and all kinds of stuff, but this one
Mm,
was very isolated, and Sandra Bullock had to carry the whole film basically on her,
mm.
on her shoulders, which would have been heavy, but obviously she was in space, so she didn't feel the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I reckon as we obviously, as the decades pass and as we start to reach our twilight, Devout, I mean, it just makes you
Hmm.
wonder though, man, space travel, like, you know, they're already doing these tests, man.
Yeah, you got SpaceX doing private space missions.
Yeah.
NASA are
How
looking to go back
long?
to the moon at some
Yep.
point.
Yep.
It's
And how
yeah,
long the body can actually last, like in isolation, man. I think there was one where the guy, um, he was out there, or I don't know. There was just something where there was something that I was reading recently where he spent a long time just being isolated, and imagine
mm,
what that does to your mind, man.
yeah. I've heard that they do for people that are going to go to Mars because they want to go to Mars at some point. They're doing these tests where you go away for 6 months in
Mm,
conditions that are going to be similar to space travel because it takes at least
damn.
6 months to get to Mars. So
Yeah,
they've got to go through all these tests and like psychological as well as physical to see if they can survive in these
yeah.
conditions before they go out to space. Because you're right, it's crazy, man. You can't just
Mm.
come out and go to the shops,
And yeah,
That's
it's
it.
not like as if it's not as if, oh hey,
Mm,
yeah, I'm gonna go up to space, I'm ready for it. Well, flipping
mm,
out, man, no one's done this shit before. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's like it's mad. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy. So, well, yeah,
Apparently,
it,
yeah.
it,
The only other thing that I was going to say was Robert Downey Jr. Apparently, he was going to be cast in that.
oh, as George Clooney's character, maybe.
Yeah, or something
Oh,
like yeah.
okay.
Apparently, he was attached to it. I don't know,
Mm,
kind of. And 2013, yeah, he would have because this. So 2008 Iron Man, he became massive after that.
mm,
So that would have been in the prime of his
yeah.
kind of
Iron Man 3 came out in 2013.
yeah.
Mm,
And then obviously Avengers had just struck the year before that. So
mm.
yeah, that was 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, Avengers 2012. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Big,
yeah. So
big.
he was a huge movie star. So he could have
Mm,
pulled that one off. All right. So listen, folks, go check that one out. And the reason why we've chosen Gravity is because it kind of leads nicely into the movie that we're going to be speaking about right now. This is a movie on Netflix. It's a new release, came out a few weeks ago. This is called Nowhere, and it's a Spanish language movie. And it's weird because it kind of set in a. It actually, I can't remember whether or not it says that if the movie's set in present day or in some kind of future. Basically, there's some sort of dystopia, like some
yeah.
sort of something's gone to shit
Mm,
where people have to get away, and they're kind of taking the women away, and they're not having kids or something. And it almost reminded me a bit of Children of Men a little bit.
mm, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
this kind of
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
this there's scenes of women being taken away, there's fighting in the streets, and it focuses on this kind of couple. They're trying to get away. They've managed to get passage
Mm,
on a ship, and they want to go over to Ireland, believe it or not. And because apparently that's where they're looking after people, and that's where they can obviously survive. So it's kind of really kind of claustrophobic. We don't know what's going on. They're shooting people, they're killing people, they're stopping trucks at the border, they're trying to get on. And this couple, they want to get away, and then we realize that the woman, in this kind of couple, she's pregnant. So
mm,
not only, imagine that, right? You're trying to escape from whatever is going on in your country or whatever. You've only got your husband with you. There's hundreds and hundreds of people trying to escape as well, but at the same time, you're carrying a child. Obviously, I'll never know how that feels, but just imagine the predicament. Like, and the worst thing is the couple, the husband and wife, they get separated. So the woman has to basically deal with all the shit that's going on all by herself. And trust me, there's like shit that she has to go through. So I remember watching the trailer. I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. Put this on a kind of Friday night type of a thing. you know and it's one of those movies where it's not a kind of like a classic. It's not kind of
mm,
one of those movies which are like, oh my gosh, it's a must watch. It's just
mm,
one of those movies where you're like, okay, this is a bit interesting. This is kind of like, movie that you can put on and you kind of watch it for kind of, the tension. You
mm.
watch it for the survival. Just like in Gravity, you want to figure out how obviously, she gets kind of like, to the end. And you know, there isn't much else that I can say apart from, it's, it's decent. It's,
Mm,
well directed. There's enough tension in the movie. There's enough kind of peril where you think to
mm.
yourself, shit, man, how the hell is this woman going to survive? Like for me, Deval, no joke, I was thinking, how is she going to do the whole water thing? How is she going to drink water?
Yeah, I think she uses rain, isn't it? I think she drinks rain
Yeah,
at some stage. But there's a
this
couple of
this
really
rainwater.
horrible moments in this film as well. Like you mentioned about the dystopian future and them wanting to cull almost, reproduction and by taking pregnant people and just try
Don't
to
explain
manage
it.
the population. Sorry.
They don't explain it.
Not
Why?
really, no. They don't really explain it, but they kind of leave it to us to sort of put two and two together. But
Mm.
you're right; they're trying to sort of somehow. I think maybe resources. This is like the near future. Resources are dwindling, and just like Thanos said, "Oh,
Yeah,
there's too many mouths to feed," you know. So they want to try and cut it. And
yeah.
yeah, there's a moment where people get killed,
Mm.
and it's really just
That's bad. That one's a bad one.
yeah, it's just really, and with what's going on in the world right now, you look at that scene and think, shit,
Think
this is a
shit.
film, but at the same time, this shit happens in the world. Do you
Yeah,
know what I mean? This shit is happening in the world.
big time.
It's mad. But yeah, she's also pregnant, and then she has to
Mm.
like give birth by herself. It's This film is it's crazy.
It's full on, man. It's full
Yeah,
on,
it
and you
is.
just think kind of like how much more shit can a person go through? Not only is she pregnant, she's got to
Right.
give birth in,
Yeah.
and the thing is, it's. I don't think we're giving anything away. It's just her in a
Mm,
container.
mm.
That is
A
it. Just
shipping
her
container. Yeah.
in a shipping container, and that is it. And the person who's listening to this,
Mad.
and the person obviously listening to this kind of episode is now probably thinking, well, okay, shit, how the hell does she get out? Well, when I
Mm.
was watching the movie, I was thinking, shit, how is she going to bloody get out of this? And then,
That's when you find out just how survival you can be. You use all your resources, and you find out about yourself in those
trust
moments.
me,
Hmm.
man, trust me. So 100%, it's definitely worth a
Mm.
watch, and it's in Spanish. But
Yeah.
again, you can change the language, and so you're not kind of missing out on much over there. But yeah, if you do watch it in subtitles, it's interesting as well, just to
Mm.
watch it in its kind of the way it was intended. But yeah, it's a decent movie. It's not kind of one of those movies where you're like, oh, that was pretty a waste of time. I watched it and I was like, okay, it's not too bad. Like,
Mm.
it's all right.
Yeah. Decent. Worth a
Yeah,
watch.
it's decent. It's definitely worth a watch. All right, we've got time for a hidden gem. Devout is going to be speaking about this.
Yes.
So take it away, man. This is from 2015. This is called Little White Lie.
Oh my gosh. So this is documentary. This is on Amazon
Mm,
Prime. So this
yeah,
one I found. This is literally I just found it randomly, and I thought, what's this all about? Little White Lie.
yeah.
You hear that term a lot. This
Mm.
is this is the epitome of the term.
Oh
This is the
gosh.
epitome. This came out in 2014, 2015. It's just over an hour long
Yeah.
documentary about a uh, a Jewish girl in America, New York,
Mm,
and she's raised in a sort of good family and all that. Everyone, mum and dad and all her family around her, they seem to be doing quite well and stuff like that. And it sort
mm,
of looks at her upbringing and all that. Uh, so far from what I've said to you, what are you thinking? Where's the lie?
mm.
Are you thinking
What,
where's the
she's not.
lie? Where's the
What?
lie
Oh
coming
shit.
from? What are you thinking? Little white
What?
lie.
That what? She's not all happy.
Mate, she's not
She's.
white.
It's not. Oh,
Mate,
wow,
so she's been she's been
mate. Oh,
she, she's
I
been
wasn't
brought.
expecting that. I wasn't
It's
expecting
in the
that.
name. Once the epitome. She's being brought up white. Her mum
Oh,
is white.
yeah,
Her dad is white, uh, and she is mixed race. So she's really fair. She's really sort of fair skinned, mixed race, but
yeah,
she's mixed race, and she's been basically everyone in her family is just saying she's white. That's her mum.
right.
That's her dad,
Dad.
and no one's saying anything.
Mm,
So as she was growing up, she was thinking like, something's not right. I definitely look darker. Like what's
mm,
and
mm.
they said to her, oh, her dad on her dad's side, his granddad was
Yeah,
from Sicily, Italy, or something. Or they're
right, right,
saying
right,
that
right.
like from back in the days, like they had links to the Moors, and
Mm,
I think the Moors
mm.
were like sort of
The,
black or Arab kind
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
people from
Africans. Yeah,
south of Spain and south of the
yeah.
Mediterranean. So there's that kind of link.
North
So
African.
that's why they're saying that she got her darkness from the granddad, even though the dad
Mm,
isn't that dark. The dad is kind of dark, very tanned, but he's not that
he's
tanned.
not.
You know what I mean? So as she's growing up, she's like, shit, like something's not right, kind of thing.
Something
She
doesn't add
gets
up.
to like
Yeah.
high school, and then people are like, this, like, she can notice more. Her features are coming out, and her friends are like, saying things. And then she gets to like college, like university age, and
Yeah.
when she applies for university, they ask that you got to have a picture when you apply, and
Yeah.
she didn't tick any box as to her heritage, because by that stage
Right.
she was really confused. She didn't tick
Yeah.
any
Yeah. Yeah.
box. Just on her picture, they said, "Oh, we'd like to welcome you," and they marked her down as mixed race or black.
Is
They
it?
decided that, and then that's when she thought,
Yeah.
like, shit, I must be black. So when she went to university, all the black students have like integrated her into like the Afro Black society, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
now seeing that she's black, she's mixed
She's
race. You know
black.
what I
Yeah.
mean? Then she finds out more about her heritage, and then it's just like she starts to then question her parents.
Oh
She
man.
questions her parents, and then you find out. I don't know if I want to spoil it for everyone, but
No, mate.
you
I'm
find
I'm
out.
intrigued now, man.
You
I need to
find
find
oh
out.
mate, you find out that her mum got with a brother down
Yeah.
at the basketball courts when they were young.
Oh,
Her mum got with this brother. But the thing is, yeah, her mum and dad, like the white dad, they
yeah.
got married in 1968. Yeah. Her
Mm.
mum admitted that she started seeing this other guy in 1968, the same
Oh,
year she got married.
same. Yeah.
But then the daughter was born in 1977. So
Uh-huh.
this is 9 years later from the mum. The mum's having an affair for 9 years. The mum's having an
Oh,
affair for 9 years, and then the daughter's born.
just
They got
born.
they got no other kids. This is the only kid that they had together.
Yeah, but
And
the
then
dad, obviously, the dad, he's then cool with it because he's accepted her, right?
he himself thought, okay, yeah, so it's my granddad. Yeah, he's darker, so
Oh,
that's where it came
she told
through.
the so she told the lie to him as well.
Yeah, well, he believed the lie because he thought
Mm.
that was the case. He had no
Yeah,
idea that this was not his child.
yeah,
Later, he sort of thought something, but the mum never actually said to him, "This is what
yeah.
happened." Though he obviously started to put two and two together, cousins, uncles, and aunties. Some people knew, but no one said anything. So then she confront in the documentary. She confronts them all. She finds out the truth. She's her dad, her actual dad, her biological dad. She speaks to him, and
Is
she
it?
yeah, he's there, and it's like then you start to see that the mum had invited that guy, her biological dad, to certain
Yeah,
events, and
back in the day.
her husband knew him because he was the guy that could get tickets to like
Oh
Madison Square
gosh.
Gardens. So he was the ticket guy. So he'd met him and he'd come to like certain events. He'd be sitting at the table, and he thought he was her friend. It's
Oh,
mad.
mad. This is mad,
Mate,
mad, mad,
this
mad, mad.
documentary is crazy.
It's an eye
And
opener, man.
mate, and you just think to yourself, shit, the mum, like that's and then the dad was like, oh, that's the ultimate betrayal. Like,
Yeah,
how could you do that? And he said to this day, she still never confronted him about it. She still never said
is it?
anything to him. No, the daughter said it, everyone else has said it, because they're separated now. But the mum
Yeah.
had never looked at dad in the face and said, I did
Yes,
this.
I did this.
He is you can see in his eyes, he's dead inside. He's dead inside. He's
Oh,
inside his eyes, he's dead.
oh my God! Like
The
the white
lights
of
on, but
the
there's
jaws.
no one home. Honestly, he's just it's killed him. He's just now just sleepwalking through life. It's mad.
That is
Yeah, it's
mad.
mad. It's mad. But then he said when the daughter confronted the dad, he was like, "Yeah, I know, I know." And she said, "Oh, I'm black," and he was like, "Yeah, what's new?" And he's very dismissive. He's very like, "Yeah, what's new? I could tell. When you were 16, I can tell the music you were listening to, the this, the that."
Oh
But he
shit!
still didn't. No one outwardly said it. It's like they're
Said
still
it to
going
him.
through life. Yeah, he's that kind of guy. He just went through life, just not admitting it, and just it's a mad. It's one of the
I
best
gotta watch
documentaries
it.
I've seen. Honestly,
I
so
gotta
an
watch
hour
it.
long.
So then what? So like so but what about now though? Like does she have a relationship with the dad, like her biological dad?
He died. He died.
Oh
They all went to the wedding, and the mum was there crying. Her dad, her white dad, wasn't there, but the mum was there because remember they had an affair for 9 years. Even the man's wife, her biological dad's wife, confronted the mum and tried to cut her with a blade. Yeah,
shit!
yeah. So she's the other woman in it, and she like
Yeah, she's the other
I'm not
woman. Yeah.
condoning it, but yeah, it's like that's what happened. And still, they saw each other, and then they had a kid. So this is going on for 9 years, man. And then she
Mate.
brought that kid into the
And this is
home
the
and raised.
60s and 70s.
Yeah, yeah. In a Jewish society as well. Yeah,
Oh
it's like
man.
this
That
is the
is a
hidden gem
madness.
that I just came across, and I was like, "What is this? This looks interesting." Little white lie. I saw
And
the
then what?
trailer and I
Then so
thought,
then when you came across that one, what you just read the synopsis and then you thought, oh, let me just start reading it or
read the
watching this.
synopsis. I saw the trailer and I thought this looks interesting, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. The trailer gave you
Okay.
some juice, but didn't give you the whole meal.
Oh
Because
man,
you remember we saw
I
that
love
with the
them all.
racial divide. We saw that a few years
Yeah,
ago, where she was pretending to be black, where
be
she
black, yeah,
was,
yeah.
but this is different. This is This is everyone else pretending you're black, you're white when you're black. And when you see her as a kid, you're thinking, no,
No,
no one tans like that when you're like, no,
exactly.
there's
Yeah.
something else going on there. But
Oh
then she's
man,
just raised white. She always thought she was white.
right. And
Yeah.
then what? So, but she accepts it now, like her heritage
Oh
now, right?
yeah, like she even like the way she in her later years she just leant towards the black culture and she doesn't
Mm,
deny her white side, but it's like the black culture instantly accepted her and her
yeah.
identity wasn't hidden. So she
Mm,
was really
mm,
happy about that. She married a black man as well.
yeah.
Her
Yeah.
relationships are always like mixed race or black people.
Okay.
And yeah, it's mad documentary, man.
That's
It's
mad.
just the dad. I
I was
felt for the dad,
reading.
man.
You know what? I haven't
I
seen the
felt for
documentary.
the dad. I
I
felt
feel
for him.
sorry
His
for the
eyes are
dad,
dead
man.
inside, man. He's dead.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
man, that is the worst. That's the
Mm,
worst thing, man. Oh man, I gotta watch this. I'm putting that to watch this. No, it
mm.
reminds me of this thing that I read about. You get those 23andMe, those DNA
Oh
tests.
yes, 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 yes. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Apparently, so many people are
yeah,
doing them, right?
yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, let's do it for a laugh," and like,
Mm,
let's just see, blah 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 blah, and then
mm.
before you know it, you've opened up a can of worms because then you're like,
But
um,
it happened to Kerry
"Yes,
Washington recently. I don't know if you heard about that.
no,
You know Kerry Washington from Scandal, the TV show
yes, yeah, yeah, of
Scandal, and
course, yeah,
she was in Fantastic Four as a blind
yeah,
woman.
yeah,
Remember,
yeah, yes,
she she did that recently, and it turned out her biological dad isn't her dad. Her
oh
mum
my
got pregnant for a
gosh,
sperm donor, a sperm bank. So when she was about to do this, as she was about to do it, the parents
her mum,
realized, okay, this is going to happen.
this
So
is
then
gonna
they
come out,
approached
yeah,
her and said, she's like in a, how old is she? Mid 40s or something. I don't
forties,
know how old she is, but that's
yeah.
when she found out. So yeah,
Man, it's
it's
you know what?
yeah,
It's double-edged sword, those types of things, man. Because
yeah.
you just don't know, man. Shit.
Yeah,
All
this
right. Well,
documentary,
listen,
man, Little
folks.
Why, it's worth a watch. If I ever
Um,
say a documentary is worth watching, it's only an hour. It's not too much time. It's good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Okay,
good.
I'm watching that one. Look, folks, you've heard it. You've heard how you
Mm,
can spend your Friday night or your weekend. Pluck something on, put on Nowhere, put on A Little White Lie, and you're going
mm,
to be entertained. And then once you've watched one of those things, get in touch with us. Let us know.
mhm.
Tell your friend. Tell your grandma.
Has anyone told you a little lie? Tell us. What was that? Huh? Tell us. What was
Tell
a
us a little lie.
little lie?
Yeah, and none of this like, oh, I stole money from my dad when I was a kid, like one of those
I
things,
did
like
that. I did it all the
yeah, oh,
time.
mate, we all did, mate, we all take money out from the jar, man. Like seriously, oh gosh, and get beats afterwards. That's what used to happen to me, man. Um,
Oh
All
my
right, listen, look,
gosh.
we hope you enjoyed the show. We're going to be back and we're going to be
Mm,
speaking about dumb money on next week's episode. What else did I? Killers of a Flower Moon. We're going to
yeah.
throw in that as well. So stick around for that one. And